melody of different instruments. A new style of an ancient music composition. The sound of the steppe is eternity, and the history will never end. Watch the program Sounds of the Great Steppe on Kazakh TV.
Cue composition is an oratory art piece without words. The key of the cue composition is in the dombra instrument, which plays a mysterious melody. A person who knows the language of the dombra could find a way of communication with the cue and dombra instrument. The West cue compositions are superior in Kazakh cue art. Sanao is also one of the great cue compositions of the West cue school.
Кауенің күйесі санау, қазақ күйшілік өнерінде мықты күйлердің бірі болып саналады. Кейінгі кезде ол орындалмай.
The cue composition Sanao is one of the great Kawen's composition among other cue art. Nowadays it is not played so often, and this cue composition was not promoted. I have learned and took this cue from the CD of Bek Omarov, a Kazakh 100 cue, and currently I am playing this composition. If we'll talk about Kawen, he was a student of the well-known cue singer Abil, who lived in the Mangistau region. Abil's cue compositions were played for people and promoted as well. Unfortunately, we have only one cue composition of Kawen cue. This cue composition, Sanao, is close with the structure to Abil's composition. It gives a deep philosophical meaning. The composition included all opportunities of the dombra instrument. And this composition is great with the diapason.
Домбраның мүмкіндігін пайдалана білген, диапазоны жағынан өте кең күйлердің бірі.
As we know, cue compositions are like a song. There are special dedicated cue compositions, as they were written for a beautiful girl or a racing horse. We know there are a few compositions which were written for the sound of the dombra instrument. The composition Patience was written for the two-string instrument sound. Different melodies come through the 9 frets. Traditionally, a whispering music comes from the dombra's body. and strings while playing with the fingers and frets. This melody was written for this cue composition.
Әлікейдің сыбырлақ күйі Дәулеткерей Шығайұлының шәкірттерінің бірі болып саналатын осы Әлікей өкінішке орай Әлікейдің тек қана қоңырала және сыбырлақ атты екі күйі жеткен.
The composition of Patience was written by Alike, a follower of Dăuletkerei Joly. Unfortunately, only two compositions of Alike came to us as Konrala and Patience. I've learned this Patience cue composition from Bek Omarbekov's playing version on the CD, the Kazakh 1000 cue compositions. If we will talk about the Patience composition, the melody of the cue had whispered sounds. We have not received the history of this cue composition, and a lot of information was not written. That's why we have not received it, and it was not researched. I like Patience cue composition with its singularity and gentle melody, as it is different from other cue compositions. The title of the cue was found exactly for the composition. It was heard to me as a whisper, and I was in love with the composition when I first heard it. I learned, and I'm playing this composition now.
Сыбырлатып тартқандықтан ба, күйдің аты затына сай, сыбырлақ деген атына сай, естілгеннен кейін бір тыңдағаннан ғашық болып, осы күйге соны шығарып, орындап жүрген жайым бар. Қазақ күй өнерінде білетіндеріңіздей төкпе және шертпе күй болып екі дәстүрге бөлінеді. Соның ішіндегі жаңа айтып өткен Қаратау мектебінің
Traditionally, a Kazakh Q art is divided in two parts as tokpe Q, shertpe Q. If we have a look at the Karatao and Arka Q schools, Arka Q school compositions are close to their lyrics. They're different with their melody and structure. Subsequently, these are the sounds of Kobiz and Sugir's Q composition. The playing shows melismata singularity of the composition.
Және де өзіндік қағыстарындағы ерекшеліктері, қазіргі тілмен айтқанда мелизматика жағы жақсы көрсетіледі. Байжігіт күйші жалпы Шығыс Қазақстан күйшілік мектебінің беделді бір күйшілерінің бірі.
Байжigit Q Players is one of the first Q musicians of East Kazakhstan Q Music School. There is information as even Tatembet Q player played Q compositions with Bayjigit's followers. There are approximately 20 Q compositions of Bayjigit which were saved and came to us. Talasbek Asimkulov, a well-known historian and Shertpe Q player, delivered them to nowadays.
Shertpe kүйші ағамыз Talasbek Asimkulov.
Composition Kerbalak was written from the legend about Ablai Khan's two horses. Ablai Khan had two racing horses as Kerbalak and Kokbalak. The horses were wild horses and Kazakh fast racing progeny horses. You can hear from the Q composition the sounds of a horse race. There are marvelous movements of the horses as well. The character of the horse can be noticed from the playing on the dombra.